Hello and welcome. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran and this is Express News. Prime Minister Narendra Modi paid tributes to freedom fighter Vinayak Damodar Savarkar on his birth anniversary. In a social media post, the Prime Minister said that Savarkar was a true son of India and even the harshest tortures of the British government could not shake his devotion towards the motherland. Prime Minister Modi also paid homage to N.T. Rama Rao on his birth anniversary. In a social media post, he said that Rao was widely admired for his efforts to serve society and empower the poor. An all-party delegation led by parliamentarian Kanimori visited the Parliament of Greece. She was presented with a token of appreciation from the Greek side. The delegation is visiting Greece for meeting government officials, media personalities and parliamentarians, underscoring India's commitment to countering Pakistan-supported terrorism. Another all-party delegation led by parliamentarian Ravi Prasad reached Italy's Rome on the second leg of a multi-nation visit on Wednesday. The delegation will hold wide-ranging interactions with Italian lawmakers, think tanks and media persons to convey India's firm message against cross-border terrorism emanating from Pakistan. An all-party delegation led by lawmaker Shashi Tharoor visited Panama's parliament, where he reiterated India's firm stance against terrorism and recalled key operations such as the Uri and Balakot strikes. The delegation will also hold engagements with local leaders, journalists and the Indian diaspora to strengthen ties between India and Panama. Another multi-party delegation led by Baijayant Panda is visiting Saudi Arabia on the third leg of a four-nation visit. The delegation will convey India's unwavering stance to Saudi Arabian leaders, fostering growing partnership and cooperation. Both nations stand strongly against terrorism. The Indian government has officially notified the rules under the Inter-Services Organizations Act 2023 through a Gazette notification which came into effect on Tuesday. It aims to bolster effective command, control and efficient functioning of ISOs, thereby strengthening jointness among the Indian Armed Forces. After an 8-month sea odyssey, the INSV Tarini, carrying 2 women officers, is set to return home on 29th May, marking the culmination of a challenging voyage that spanned 4 continents. Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla has nominated 3 parliamentarians to the Press Council of India. They are Naresh Maske, Kalicharan Munda and Sambit Patra. The Indian Army Chief General Upendra Dwivedi witnessed cutting-edge demonstration of indigenous unmanned aircraft system and counter-unmanned aircraft system and loitering munitions at Babina field firing ranges. In light of the current COVID-19 situation across the country, the Health Ministry has urged citizens to stay vigilant. People are advised to wear a face mask in crowded areas and get a test done if they show symptoms. On a single day, Maharashtra reported 66 new COVID-19 cases, with Mumbai accounting for 31 of them. Pune reported 18 new cases, followed by Thane with 12. Speaking at the 78th World Health Assembly in Geneva, India's Ambassador Arindam Bakshi welcomed the adoption of the new WHO Global Traditional Medicine Strategy 2025-2034. 2 Indian peacekeepers who lost their lives while serving under the UN flag last year will be honoured posthumously with the Dag Hammarskjöld Medal at a solemn ceremony on Thursday on the occasion of International Day of United Nations Peacekeepers. Coal imports in India during the financial year 2024-25 dropped by 7.9% as compared to the previous fiscal year. The Ministry of Coal said in a statement that coal imports in India total over 243 million tons in the 2024-25 financial year as compared to 264.53 million tons in the previous fiscal year. Indian indices ended lower on Wednesday at the close. Sensex tumbled 239.31 points to settle at 81,312.32. Nifty dropped 73.75 points to settle at 24,752.45. The Indian rupee rises 3 paise to settle at 85.37 against the US dollar. Gold futures maturing on 5th June were priced at 95,771 rupees per 10 grams on the multi-commodity exchange. Silver futures for 4th July maturity stood at 98,149 rupees per kilo on the MCX. Oil prices held steady on Wednesday after an expected decision from OPEC Plus later this week to increase production in July capped gains. Brent crude futures was up 0.1% to $64.15 a barrel. Wall Street rebounded strongly on Tuesday after the Memorial Day weekend, with the S&P 500 climbing 2.1%, the Nasdaq rising 2.5% and the Dow gaining 1.8%. European markets also advanced, with Frankfurt's DAX up 0.8%, London's FTSE 100 up 0.7% and Paris's CAC 40 flat at 7,826. During his visit to the US, India's Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri met US Under-Secretary Jeffrey Kessler. They discussed about India-US cooperation in critical and emerging technologies and early convening of the India-US Strategic Trade Dialogue. An informal meeting of BRICS NSAs was held on the sidelines of the 13th International Meeting of High-Ranking Security Officials in Moscow on Wednesday. Speaking on behalf of India's NSA Ajit Doval, Ambassador Vinay Kumar highlighted the important role of BRICS to amplify the voice of the Global South and global governance reforms. US President Donald Trump said on Tuesday that Russian President Vladimir Putin was playing with fire, adding that if it weren't for him, lots of really bad things would have already happened to Russia. Responding to Trump's criticism, top Russian official Dmitry Medvedev said on Tuesday that the only truly bad thing to worry about was World War III. Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said on Wednesday that it will soon announce the next round of direct peace talks with Ukraine. The Russian Defense Ministry said on Wednesday that its troops have taken control of the settlement of Kostiantynivka in Ukraine's Sumy region and Zelenopol in the Donetsk region. Russian authorities on the intervening night of Tuesday and Wednesday reported intercepting 112 Ukrainian drones across 6 regions. The attack has forced at least 3 Moscow airports to suspend flights. The US government has ordered US missions abroad to stop scheduling new student and exchange visitor visa appointments as the State Department plans to expand vetting of applicants' social media profiles. The US government is planning to cancel all remaining contracts with Harvard University, which are valued at around $100 million. France's President Emmanuel Macron met his Indonesian counterpart Prabowo Subianto at the presidential palace in Jakarta on Wednesday. The two leaders discussed the conflict in Gaza and looked ahead to next month's international conference in New York City, which is meant to resurrect the idea of a two-state solution. U.S. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. announced that COVID-19 vaccines are no longer recommended for healthy children and pregnant women, marking a significant shift in federal public health policy. Venezuela's ruling Socialist Party held its significant majority in the National Assembly in a Sunday election, winning nearly 83% of votes, according to the Electoral Authority. France's lower house approved a right-to-die bill in the first reading, the initial step in a lengthy process that could grant patients medical assistance to end their lives in clearly defined circumstances. The bill passed with 305 lawmakers voting for and 199 against. The final passage of the bill remains some way off, as it will go on to the Senate, where it will be further debated. An explosion at a chemical plant in China killed at least 5 people and injured 19. 6 were reported missing. More than 200 emergency workers responded to the blast. Supporters of Bolivia's former President Evo Morales held protests on Tuesday demanding his acceptance as a presidential candidate despite a ban from the Electoral Tribunal. Brazil has confirmed new cases of bird flu in wild animals, which officials say pose no risk to commercial operations. Agriculture Minister Carlos Tavares said that they're investigating a potential new case on a commercial farm. Hundreds of Everest summiteers from India, China, Pakistan, the US, New Zealand and other countries gathered at the first ever International Everest Summiteers Summit 2025 held in Nepal's Kathmandu. Time for a short break. Don't go anywhere.
Geopolitics and trade deals. Economic challenges amid development. Hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy always. Between walkers, money is what money does and says. Supply creates its own demand. Between the bulls pulls and bears tears. When supply chains globalization and India rises to the podium. We'll get you centered with the Economic Brief at 8 p.m. every Thursday on DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching Express News on DD India. The United Nations World Meteorological Organization reports a 70% chance that global temperatures will rise more than 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels between 2025 and 2029. The WMO's annual climate report predicts global temperatures to rise between 1.2 degrees Celsius and 1.9 degrees Celsius in the coming years, with an 80% likelihood of breaking the record for the warmest year on record. Torrential rains have triggered flash floods and landslides across Thailand's Chiang Mai province, causing widespread damage to infrastructure. Severe flooding from heavy rains has wreaked havoc in northwestern Argentina, prompting authorities to set up kitchens and a donation center to support affected communities. Climate change has exacerbated the flooding around Lake Tanganyika, Africa's second largest lake, which has been above its normal level since 2018. The India Meteorological Department has upgraded its 2025 monsoon forecast, predicting 106% of the long-period average rainfall, slightly above the April prediction of 105%. The monsoon core zone in India, covering key agricultural areas, is expected to receive above normal rainfall this season, offering a positive outlook for the Kharif cropping period. The India Meteorological Department has issued a red alert for Kerala's Kozhikode and Wayanad districts, as heavy rainfall is expected to forecast over the next 4 years. The Met Department has issued a yellow alert for heavy rain in Uttarakhand's hilly districts, expecting significant rainfall from 28th May onwards. Conditions are ripe for the southwest monsoon to advance into the northeastern states of India, with isolated heavy rainfall predicted until the 2nd of June. Assam experienced light to moderate rainfall across many areas with gusty winds in isolated parts of Kachar. Despite the rain, no rivers are flowing above the danger levels. Torrential rains and thunderstorms have caused widespread damage in Jammu and Kashmir, with strong winds uprooting trees and damaging vehicles in Ramban district. A court in Germany is to rule on Wednesday on the case of a Peruvian farmer who says German energy giant RWE's emissions have contributed to the melting of Andean glaciers, which increases the flood risk. 11 Magellanic penguins returned to the sea after being rescued and rehabilitated by Argentina's Mundo Marino Foundation. With over 60 countries, regions and organizations taking part in it, the Osaka World Expo 2025 has already drawn over 5 million visitors in its first 6 weeks. Brazilian nun Marizelle Cassiano took viewers by surprise when she began beatboxing during a Catholic television show. Turkmenistan celebrated Turkmen Carpet Day with exhibitions and performances by musical groups. This is an important state holiday dedicated to the Turkmen carpet as a national symbol and heritage of the country. A 2,000-year-old artifact known as the Zeus Helios Serapis bust is being displayed at a museum in Turkey after it was found in a village. A 5,000-year-old loaf of bread discovered by archaeologists goes on display in the Turkish city of Eskişehir, while local bakers attempt to recreate the recipe. Hong Kong's first locally born twin giant pandas have finally received their long-anticipated official names, Jia Jia and Day Day, in a ceremony at Ocean Park. Rose harvest season has started in the Bulgarian Valley of Roses, but producers are expecting significant losses because of severely damaged rose bushes. The European Space Agency announced that the James Webb Space Telescope has delivered its deepest view of a single target, revealing spinning arcs of light from galaxies in the universe's distant past. Nepal's climber Tashi Gyaltsen Sherpa received a hero's welcome in Kathmandu after scaling Mount Everest 4 times in just 15 days, a new record in mountaineering. With a focus on sustainability, 2 former journalists in India are transforming discarded bottles from rag pickers into unique items such as glassware, planters and lamps. In a humanitarian effort to support civilians affected by the Pakistani shelling, the Indian Army organized a free medical camp in the border areas of Jammu and Kashmir's Uri sector on Wednesday. The legendary Swedish pop group ABBA celebrated the 3rd anniversary of their concert experience ABBA Voyage by walking the red carpet in London. ABBA Voyage is an immersive show which uses cutting-edge motion capture technology to bring digital representations of the 4 band members to life, accompanied with a live band. Ed Sheeran's release a glimpse of the upcoming music video featuring a vibrant mix of Indian culture set in a Mumbai auto with lively Desi vibes and Punjabi lyrics. Sapphire will officially release worldwide on 5th June. The highly anticipated Harry Potter series has officially found its new set of stars. Dominic McLaughlin, Arabella Stanton and Alastair Stout will step into the iconic roles of Harry Potter, Hermione Granger and Ron Weasley. Rapper Raja Kumari has made history as the first Indian artist to win an American Music Award. She was nominated in the Favorite Soundtrack category for a song featured in Arcane League of Legends. Rick Derringer, famed for his hit Hang On Sloopy in the 60s and a successful solo career in the 70s, has passed away at the age of 77. The additional cast of Western comedy directed by Nicholas Arioli, The Stalemate, will now star three-time Emmy nominee Anthony Carrigan, Shia Wiggum and Tony Hale. Kevin Spacey makes big screen comeback by directing indie film Holyguards and launching new franchise Statyguards vs. Holyguards. Tinia Miller, known for her role in Doctor Who, is set to join Paul Bettany in the upcoming WandaVision spin-off. HBO Max has officially renewed the Emmy-winning comedy series Hacks for a fifth season, just days before the season 4 finale will air this Saturday. Stand-in captain Jitesh Sharma led Royal Challengers Bengaluru to a commanding 6-wicket win over Lucknow Super Giants to secure top 2 spots in IPL 2025 on Tuesday. IPL playoff starts from Thursday. Table toppers Punjab Kings will take on the Royal Challengers Bengaluru in Qualifier 1 in New Chandigarh. The winner directly qualifies to the finals. The Board of Control for Cricket in India has invited all 3 service chiefs of the Indian Armed Forces to the Indian Premier League 2025 final as a tribute to Operation Sindoor. Namibia is set to play against South Africa for the first time in the T20 format, which will mark the official opening of the Namibia Cricket Ground. In French Open, Alexander Zverev made an impressive start to his latest bid for a first Grand Slam title with a straight sets win over US teenager Lerna Tien on Tuesday. Former world number 1 Daniil Medvedev of Russia stumbled out of the French Open with a first-round defeat by Britain's Cameron Norrie. Novak Djokovic got off to a solid start as he beat Mackenzie McDonald of the United States 6-3, 6-3, 6-3 in the first round. Coco Gauff of the US dispatched Australia's Olivia Gadecki in straight sets to get her French Open campaign off to a confident start. Title contender Mira Andreeva eased into the French Open second round with a 6-4, 6-3 win over Spain's Cristina Bucsa to continue her fine form this season. 5 Indian boxers are set to compete in the quarterfinals of the Thailand Open International Boxing Tournament on Wednesday. In soccer, Chelsea is set to face Real Betis in the UEFA Conference League final on Thursday. Barcelona's teenage sensation Lamine Yamal has signed a contract extension that will keep him at the Spanish club until 2031. World champion D. Gokesh's disappointing season continued on Tuesday with the teenager losing his second successive match in Norway chess tournament. Meanwhile, Nakamura defeated Magnus Carlsen in Armageddon on the second day of the event. After 2 rounds of action-packed games, Arjun Erigesi and Hikaru Nakamura are sharing the lead with 4.5 points each. And with that, it's a wrap. Thanks for watching.